It's John, Max, and Mewsh being real cool dudes and talking about the things they saw on tour. Welcome to Storytime.
Hey everybody, welcome to Storytime. I'm John.
I'm Max.
And this is Mewsh.
What's up?
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Mewsh. Who are you?
My name's Mewsh.
All right, that's been the episode,
Christian
guys.
name.
Cheers.
Oh, man. So, my name's Anthony Mewsh. That's my God-given name. I was a touring musician for a long time, a lot of years. No longer am. Now I'm a father and a cheesemaker. But at one point, I was a touring musician. I was in Mandy K and the Traditional. And now I'm currently in Genesee Hotel with John.
That's me.
I was in the Traditional with John as well, but I'm sure you already knew that from previous podcasts because you're a diehard fan.
Yeah,
You've definitely already listened to absolutely all of them.
the one, the one singular podcast before this. Nice. Who called you Mewsh first?
Oh, man. So I'm in a group of friends called the Shitties. And
Okay, you need to explain that. Like,
right.
give us like the real short version.
So my high school friends, we always used to go like camping and go on our friend Maddie's boat, and his dad called us the Shitties. Maddie said he was going out with the boys somewhere, and he said, "Oh, you're going out with the Shitties again?" And then it fucking stuck. That was it forever. We were the Shitties.
Shout out Maddie's dad.
So then we used to shout out Maddie's dad.
Shout out
So
Mr.
then
Maddie.
we used to abbreviate everybody's last name all the time. And my last name is Musior, so then it ended up being the Mewsh, and then it was the Mewsh forever. That was it.
Wow.
It's a great story.
It just where you're from West Seneca, right?
I am.
That just makes sense. Calling each other the shitties.
Yeah.
From West Seneca.
That's us. We're proud of that.
Jesus.
We're proud to be from West Seneca too, man. Queen of Heaven forever.
Queen of Heaven, Cone King.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been to
man.
West Seneca.
Ever?
No, I think I've been to the
Dude, you're on the border of West Seneca right now.
Yeah. No, I worked at Cass Park Carnival once.
When?
The Memorial Day.
He
No,
wasn't even
that's
born.
South Buffalo.
He wasn't even born, bro.
Is Cass Park South Buffalo?
Yeah.
I thought that was right on. It's
Yeah,
damn
it's like
near.
right before West Seneca. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I've no. Well, I've been to Aiden's house once.
That's West Seneca, baby.
There it is.
He's back.
We're in it. We're in it. What's this cheesemaker thing you said?
Oh yeah. I am a
Is that like like you're fucking cheesing?
No, it's more like
it does pay my bills.
Is it at Wegmans?
But it's not dope. No, it's at a
cheese factory,
a
bro.
cheese factory.
Cheesecake Factory?
No, like a legit fucking cheese factory, dude. Like I make cheese.
Isn't that just called a farm? Like
No, what? No, they make it in like big vats and shit. I don't.
what kind of cheeses?
I make ricotta.
You don't have to say that you make ricotta.
I make
All right.
ricotta. Yeah, I no longer make it. I'm the boss now. So
He's making that
I
big.
watch other people make
You're like, wow, they're
I'm
making it a lot
sure
better than
they're
I
not
did.
putting their fingers in it and shit. You know.
This tastes all right.
I saw you put your finger in it. No, I didn't. I used to do it all the time. I
used to do
know
that
you
too.
did.
I
I
know.
know.
If you go
Every
from
trick.
that side, it's a little bit colder. It's nicer. How long you been a cheeser?
5 years.
What's
now.
does cheesemaker have a name? Like sommelier is like a wine guy. Is it
maybe.
cheeseur?
It's just.
What do they
my
call
job
it?
Title was cheese maker.
What do they call it in Spanish?
I don't know.
Okay, so
Well, like like the word cheat. You fucking. I'm moving back.
good riddance. Do you want to host a podcast?
How did you get into cheese making? Was it just because, has that been all the time? Or was that just like after you stopped touring, you found your love for ricotta?
No,
Like, man, I love playing the bass and singing in front of people, but I also have this diehard dream of being a ricotta maker.
So it was like, I think Mandy K had just broken up.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. And so I needed like a real job. And so somebody got me in there into the plant.
You had a cheese plug.
I had a cheese plug. I did. And they... So then I did that for a year or so, and then I quit because the Traditional did a tour. And actually, at that point, they told me, like, hey, if you call in one more time, you're going to be fired. Excuse me. And
In the middle of a story, you fucking amateur.
I know. I could have just been like, oh! But they, they said if you call in again, you're going to be fired. And I was like, all right. So then I called in because we had a week-long tour booked, the first one
I
we
think
ever
it was
did.
like the first one, yeah.
And then I just never went back. But then
you went back.
But then the Traditional broke up, right? And then I was like, guys, this burning passion to make cheese is back. I
just really want to make ricotta.
Please take me back. I went in there on my knees, and they actually the HR manager at the time is now the plant manager, like the whole plant manager. And he
That's a big jump up from
he
HR
came in the
plant.
room and he's like, yeah, I know. He was like the HR manager, now he's the plant manager. And he came in and he's like, I told them they couldn't hire you back. I don't want to hear your name one time. And now I'm a supervisor.
And now I'm almost his boss.
All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Oh.
All right, I want to hear some stories.
Well, yeah, because how long were you a touring musician? Because you had Mandy K Traditional, and that's
Too long.
and you did
Mandy
fill-in.
K was what like that? You were
I
playing
was
in high school with that.
16 or 17. I dropped out of high school.
Talk-
We did Warped Tour.
I
So,
feel
yeah,
like
talk
all
a
right.
little bit
See,
of-
now that I know that, the drop out of high school, the cheesemaker makes a lot more sense.
Shit, ain't that the truth?
Which is hilarious because he makes more money than both of us combined. Just saying.
Oh yeah, I have Obamacare.
Cheese. Listen,
I appreciate that.
people
but
love cheese. Just saying.
Not glamorous. It's a great job. I feel like my job's gonna hear this now, and they're gonna be like, "Fuck you, dude, you're fired."
You've been putting your how many?
We can always edit that out.
I can't post this on Facebook as like that I was on it because my bosses are gonna motherfuck me to the moon when they hear this.
We'll just
Let's hear-
We'll bleep out every time you say you put your. Even though we're pantomiming the act.
We're just gonna bleep out. So they're like, "Hey,
and
put your
cheese.
beef and cheese."
Bleep out and.
I put my
idea
bit in
what we're talking about.
Oh my god.
Terrible.
All right. I want to hear.
Jesus.
I want to hear a little bit about Warped Tour. Like,
Yes,
what,
you've been a-
what did you
you've
do?
been a-
Did you play?
No,
Explain
so
that.
Warped Tour was, if it was Warped Tour 08, I think.
08? You're old as shit.
Oh wait. And
Not all of us were born in 2001, bro.
that was the year I was supposed to graduate, but I was on Warped Tour. And
That was the year I was supposed to graduate, but I was on Warped Tour. I was supposed to graduate during the school year, and Warped Tour starts in the summer.
it was
But
the
I quit both before.
I should have fucking quit Warped Tour too. It was no Warped Tour. We were not playing, so we had a record label from around here told us that we could use their booth. So they were like offered a booth, as record labels are on Warped Tour, and so we took their booth out and we sold our records and we sold the bands on the labels records too, and. It was a grind, dude.
So it's just like a bona fide merch gig.
It was, but we were like hustling our records. So
Sure.
every morning we would wake up, set up our tent, get our wristbands and shit for the day, and then we would just go to the line and
Yeah.
start being like,
Just
hey, will you check
hustling.
out our band? Like,
Yeah.
whatever. And we had iPods and headphones, and we would just sell records all day. So then the line would go in, and then we would go in. One of us would sit at the table, and the rest of us would be walking around all day selling records. And I mean,
How
it
many of you?
worked really well. There was 6 of us at the time. 5
Was
of
it
us in the
just
band
your
and one
band?
guy. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was just our band. I mean, there was a ton of bands who would do that. It was like
Sure,
a
sure.
well-known thing, but like they would go and sell to the line, and they wouldn't be allowed to get into the tour.
But you at least had the.
But we had the table.
Yeah.
So we were allowed to.
So you were allowed to be on the tour.
Yeah.
That's definitely.
You already had a
helpful.
huge advantage
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
that
for
because
sure.
you were selling merch and
Right.
not just CDs merch as well. That's
Yeah.
So we crushed. We sold like 8,000 records that summer.
Wow.
It was-
Without
Yeah,
playing
but how
a
many are
single
left?
note.
We didn't say
Still.
any. Oh my god, so many, so many are
How
left.
many are in the basement?
Yeah.
Well-
oh my god, dude, so many.
That's funny because his the guitarist in that band. So I went to high school with like half that band.
Yeah.
And Kevin Skoma, shout out Kevin Skoma.
Shout out to Skoma.
They would practice at his parents' house, and I would play with him occasionally after they broke up.
Yeah.
And any time I went there, his dad would be like, "Hey, take it. You got any friends who like Mandy K? Take a box." And he would just give me a box of like what? There'd be like 25 to 50 in there, depending.
Not even just take a record, take a box.
No, he'd be like, "I cannot get rid of these. Just take them."
Wow.
Yeah.
It was gnarly. It was. We ordered like so many more. We ordered so many records because like, you know,
you
we
thought you were gonna
expected
make
to
it,
be
yeah.
touring,
Yeah.
whatever.
Because you were on Warped Tour.
Yeah. Well,
And honestly, you guys like that's huge.
mean, the
8,000
fact that-
records. That's insane.
The fact
Yeah,
that
we
you sold
crushed.
8,000 records without playing anything.
yeah. All it was like, hey, will you check out my band? Here's these
Right.
whatever. Listen to the
You
headphones.
could have been
and
selling
then-
blanks for all they knew.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. Yeah.
It was like I'm not a salesman at all.
You
So,
were
like,
16 too. You were a child.
Yeah, I was 16. And so like I'm not like good with that shit.
Was the
and I also
rest-
don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
So like, but the other guys were really good at it, like fucking hustlers. Like they were awesome at it. I was just like in hell.
Did you give yourselves like did you have like a competition? Like was it like, "Oh, if you sell the most in a day, you get
We would pay ourselves.
or that.
We
Okay.
would pay ourselves. So if you sold so many records, it was so many dollars, or like every 10 was like $10 or something, or every 10 was I don't remember, but it was like every so many or whatever you would get paid, and that's how everybody would eat, really.
Yeah.
And it was.
Let's be real, that's how everybody would drink.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we would go to the Warped Tour after parties and shit too, because we were allowed to be there.
Yeah, you had a
That
tent.
was cool, and that's how we would like make connections and shit,
Right.
and like
You're just a bunch of 16-year-olds.
yeah.
Was everyone else in the band also like 16, 17, or were people
We
older?
were. I think we were 17 and 18.
Yeah.
We were between 17 and 18, but
Right,
yeah,
so you're
it
just
was
a bunch
nuts.
of
Like,
you're just a bunch of like 17, 18-year-olds at a Warped Tour after party.
we were all that age. Like I think the youngest one was 16, Trey, and we're driving a 15-passenger van and trailer like across the full U.S.
Yeah, and
Fucking
Warped Tour is not a
16 to
short
18.
tour.
Oh
yeah.
my god, it sucks.
And it's day in, like it's early till late every day.
Yeah, it's a grind. And then, like, we would have to drive overnight, sometimes, like, 12, 15 hours. Like, we would have to leave early sometimes just so we could make the next date.
Right.
And, like, we were one of the only bands doing it in a van.
Right.
Because, like,
Yeah,
all the
'cause everyone
bands
else had
playing are in
drivers and
buses,
stuff.
dude.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man, it was a grind.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like with other, like when you just go for the day, you're outside for the day and it's all that. But it's like when you're doing a 50, 60-day run, you're outside in the elements. Like you can't. There's no escape, right? Like there's a catering tent and like that's shade.
Yeah,
But like
for a minute. And then it's, like,
you can't do anything else.
110 degrees in Phoenix.
Yeah, like that, especially in Phoenix. Like, didn't they do that? Like, I've seen videos and stuff. Didn't they do it on like a blacktop parking lot?
Yeah, and like
they
stuff's
would, like,
melting.
Yeah.
They would, like, spray you with water and shit, too. Like, they had, like, you know, like the misters or whatever and the hoses, but like it would hit the pavement and dry. It was fucking crazy.
Well, I think didn't like a girl die at Warped Tour during like Chelsea Grin's set once because she had heat exhaustion.
Really?
I think it was Toronto, maybe like 2012. But like, I mean, even like the times that I went to Warped Tour, midway through the day, I was just unhappy.
Yeah.
Because I was sweating, it was hot, I was sunburnt because I was an idiot and I didn't use sunscreen.
Oh yeah, never.
And it was just like
Never,
no
ever.
one wants to be here for more than 4 hours.
No. And you know what? Another part of it too was every morning you would get up and you would go to the Monster bus,
Yeah.
and they would give you Monster for the day.
But it would be water too, right?
Nope. It's so you.
Oh, this
could
was
get
pre-Monster water.
straight up Monster,
just
bro.
drinking
Like
just
they didn't
chemicals.
give you the water. They just gave you cases of energy drinks.
Yeah.
So we would get like there was like a breakfast one that was like coffee, and then there was
breakfast
like
Monster?
regular ass Monster, and then there was like the cherry one. I was a big fan of the cherry one. But dude, we were pissing neon green every day because it was free.
What do
so
you
we're
have
like,
with
fuck
your-
this. This is what we're drinking all day. And then we would get in trouble too because we'd be like, hey, if you buy this record, we'll give you a Monster.
That's like
You're just slinging them both. Yeah.
dude. That I just envisioned like you ever see role models when they're selling the whatever energy drink and they're
Yeah.
pissing, they're like lime green.
Yeah.
that's
That was-
exactly what I mean.
That was real. Like
Yeah.
that was like
That
that,
was
really
a
happened.
legitimate thing.
We were all so dehydrated.
And that's
'cause
why
all
they
we were
came out with
drinking was
Monster water because people
Right.
were dying. Well, that was the one that I went to in 2013. We didn't eat because Jacqueline's beef jerky was there, and if you picked up a bag of trash, they gave you beef jerky. So we picked up bags of all I ate that from like 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. All I had was Monster and beef jerky, and maybe one water bottle.
That's why you got such a big beard now.
Exactly.
That's why you're 7 feet tall, bro.
That's why I had stomach ulcers.
Dude, that's why you don't eat beef or anything good.
Because I ate so much
Yeah.
of it in one day that I had to cut it. I had to call it quits.
God.
But how long was Mandy K around? How long were you like start of actual shows to end?
05 to 09, maybe.
And then how long
about right.
between Mandy K and the traditional?
Those years, man.
Years,
you had
yeah.
bands
I was
like
in
between
like
that.
bands
Definitions.
I was in Definitions was like mid Mandy K.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mandy K broke up in 09.
Yeah, but didn't you guys like kind of
or maybe 2010?
No, I think I think it was a little bit later because I graduated in 09, and I definitely remember you guys playing like after that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't much longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Pilots was the initial, or no, because then we did Young Youth.
You did Young Youth, yeah.
And
yeah.
then Young Youth turned into basically what the traditional was. We called it Pilots. And then that was 2012 or 11.
2012, you guys started writing, and then 2012 or 2013, You Can't Rebuild Forever came out.
2012, you can't. Oh, I don't remember.
I
But
think it's
yeah.
2012 it came out.
That, whatever.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah. Were there any notable days on Warped Tour? Like any notable things that stuck out from that run? Just like I don't know. Did anything ensue?
Honestly, everything like kind of
the whole thing
just like blurred together because it
Yeah.
was like so much work. It wasn't like enjoyable. I watched Big D and the Kids Table every single day. That was awesome for me. And then that was like my one like little escape from like dying every day in the sun.
What's up? This is Mewsh. He's friends with the Shitties. He's from West Seneca, and he fucking loves ska.
And if you don't believe him, check his recent tweets.
And he's also a head ricotta maker, everybody.
That's right.
He's married, but ladies, hit him up. His resume is disgusting.
And his address is...
Please don't hit me up. Please don't hit me up.
Don't hit him up. Don't hit him up. Buy some Mandy. Hit him up. Say, hey, I'll Venmo you $1 for this Mandy K record plus shipping, and he'll send it to you.
I'll send you a fucking case. I got more than I can count.
Case of them.
All right, let's switch gears here a little bit. We've spent quite a bit of time in
Spent a
vans.
lot of time sweating together. Yeah.
Like, literally, there's some of like most of my stories are going to be from that, like throughout the entirety of this whole experience.
Spoiler alert.
Absolutely. Doesn't mean you were always involved, but for the most part, you were there.
Yeah, I was at probably most stories.
But like, we've done a lot of stupid shit. Yeah. You know where I'm going with this.
Okay.
We've done a lot of stupid shit. There's on the road, you really have to like adapt, right? So like, I don't know how much you've done of touring. Like, I know you travel a lot and everything, but like on the road, there's a certain thing that a lot of people don't like to talk about, and that's using the restroom.
Yeah. Well, if you're in a van, there's nothing, right? But if you're in a rig, you can't poop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always did it in a van.
We did a van always. Like for us, it was always a van. Yeah.
We weren't that good of musicians.
Yeah,
Max.
no, like we never got to that point.
DIY tour.
But like,
dicks fell out.
we did like we'd go out for like, 30 days at a time. One time we did like almost 60 days, and that was with A Fortune of Fame, full U.S. tour. And I'm going to let you take it from here. Okay. Like, just explain where I'm coming from with this.
Where John's going with this is
it'd be really great if these were two different stories that you didn't realize. But you thought it was the same lead-in.
That would be hilarious. I am not a good pooper. Okay.
I mean, you're tasting
start
cheese
there.
all day. Of course you're plugged up down there, my guy.
It's not even it's like a mental preference thing. So
What?
I on tour, like if we're only doing a week, I probably won't poop until I get home. And if
So unhealthy.
yeah, I'm well aware. It was not healthy for like my mental state either.
I'll put it this way. There would be times where he'd go like more than a week, and we would if we got a hotel, it was so he could shit.
Yeah, there was a lot of times where like it was like, okay, we've been sleeping in the van a lot. It's like
We could all
let's
use a
get
shower.
hotel so we could all take a shower, and Mewsh has to shit.
I think the thing, like, I've been to a lot of terrible venues.
Yeah.
I've seen gross toilets, and I get that. But the thing is, most of those gross toilets are very close to places like Macy's or like
Sure.
something else that is a very historically clean bathroom.
Sure.
Is it what is it? What is the mental block?
It's the.
Do you want to lay down? Let's unpack this.
So
what do you got going on here?
Sometimes it's the cleanliness. No,
I get the
it's the cleanliness
I
a lot.
understand the cleanliness
and it's like
aspect.
the feeling. Sometimes it's like the feeling of home. Sounds so fucking stupid. It's like the.
That's
I
what
can't
that whole
do it.
record's about, right? Just you taking a shit. I was holding your hand because I was flexing it out. And I needed to grip something.
Dude, I just like. I can't do it. Okay, like
Sure.
I can't do it. It like I.
Still?
Well, I don't know. I haven't toured in a long time.
But like have you
if
traveled?
I was like, yeah,
No, you
if
got
I
two kids, you can
travel-
go anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not.
But there's a
lately,
very big
but-
difference of like traveling and like say you go somewhere and you have a condo for a week.
No,
That's
no.
home for
Yeah,
a week.
true, and
So
I have,
that's
like,
very different.
But like if you're out at the Galleria Mall, you're picking up some odds and ends, and this nature's knocking.
Yeah.
Will you drop it off there? Or will you go home?
No, I'll go home.
Wow.
I'll go home.
Have you ever stopped an activity because you had to? Like you've been like, all right, usually like, can you hold it? Or is it like, oh, I can't?
Yeah, I can usually hold it, but this was a time where I could.
This was not one of those times.
It's funny you should ask, Max.
It's funny that you lead into this. So we were in Watkins Glen, New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's a
Shout out-
beautiful place.
shout out
You-
races.
You're gonna do something bad there, aren't
Yeah.
you?
So we were playing at this venue, and the bathroom there it didn't have a door. So
It's because you need to air it out.
all right, and it was a single toilet and a sink and no door.
It was also disgusting.
was
Sure. I
disgusting.
mean, like Watkins Glen, apart from like nature and race cars, there's not much there.
No, but it's like a really like it's a touristy spot because of the wine and like NASCAR does races there. So
Yeah.
it's super. It is actually really nice there.
And we were on a touristy strip,
Just not that part.
just not
Just
that
not
venue.
that specific room.
that bar.
It was a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were on like the touristy strip, I believe, because we were just there was like a ton of shit around us.
Yeah.
But so we are at the venue, and we were probably out for a week and a half, maybe a little longer.
Maybe a little longer.
And I hadn't gone yet.
That's absurd, dude.
And so we ate something
That's
awful.
absolutely disgusting.
So I feel my stomach start turning. Okay. And, when it gets to be that point, it gets to be that point. Side note, like a lot of times what would
Side
happen.
note,
a
I've
lot of
shat my pants 10 times this month.
a lot of times what would happen is like they would all go inside to like get something to eat, or we were getting gas or something, and they would be like, Mewsh, this bathroom is sick. Like, get in there, we'll wait for
Yeah.
you. It'd been a while. So so I had remembered
minute.
this. So we had already played at this point, like whatever,
Yeah.
and we ate and we did whatever we were gonna do. My stomach starts turning. I had remembered on the way in that I saw like a Sunoco.
Sure.
So I'm like, all right, at least the Sunoco bathroom has a door. Like, I'll fucking hightail it
Right.
down the street. So I'm walking. I'm on foot. It's probably about a mile.
Pinching.
It's probably about a mile.
And there's not, there's other things in between you and the Sunoco that you could easily pop into.
There wasn't.
You said it's a touristy strip. There's
I-
not other restaurants.
but
It
it's
was
like a-
It's like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
Bush.
Bush. Maybe Bush. So I hightail it for this Sunoco, right? And I'm
Pinching.
like, right? I get to the
Sweating.
Sunoco. I'm
Cold
sweating.
sweats. Cold
I'm-
sweats.
Dude, I asked the guy, I'm like, hey, can I get the bathroom key?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, we don't have a bathroom here. I'm like, all righty. So I turn around and fucking.
Of course you don't.
I'm running to the venue.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm running back to the venue.
Mind you, it's about a mile, and it probably felt like 10.
Yeah. So I'm
You got the sweats.
absolutely gunning it. It's coming. It's time. It's fucking time.
Nature's here.
I cut it down a side street.
Yeah.
The first lawn I see with a bush, I just fucking drop them. And I unloaded on this poor person's front lawn. I mean, It was
Just a week.
fucking a week and a half to 2 weeks of me eating, dude.
Not eating good either.
No,
not
eating fucking garbage, dude. Like I had like $30 to my name probably, so I'm eating fucking pork rinds and
not
McDonald's
eating,
singles.
salads and fiber.
I absolutely destroyed this poor person's lawn, and I
So unfortunate.
felt so terrible.
I bet you felt terrible, but I felt also the overwhelming satisfaction.
It was
was really nice.
It was absolutely a relief, but like the walk of shame back, right? And I didn't have anything to wipe, right? I didn't have anything.
You didn't pop a sock off?
Mm-mm.
You
So
wait.
I just like listen. I pull him
I don't
up.
think I want to.
I pull him up.
Yeah,
You know, I'm fucking walking with my cheeks clenched back to the venue.
of course.
I'm like, dude.
Stankin'.
I asked Mike, or was it you?
So, just to interject you a little. So, me and Mike are in the parking lot, just shooting the shit with like whoever played, whoever's there, kind of thing.
You're just waiting for this boy.
I didn't even know he was gone. We didn't even know he was gone. We thought he was like in the venue or something.
Oh,
because
yeah.
because of the merch table, whatever. And Mewsh comes up and he goes, "Yo," and I'm like, "What's up?" I'm smoking a cigarette. I still smoked at the time, and he's like, "I need you." And I was like, "Are you? What's up?" And he's like, "I'll tell you in a minute. I just need you." And I go, "Okay."
You just give him a hug.
So we go inside. We go inside, and he's like, just like stand in front of the door. Like, there's no door here in the bathroom. Just stand in the bathroom.
Hindsight, you could have done that from the get-go.
I know.
So then he goes,
I'm well aware.
he goes,
Hung a towel or something.
I go, "What's up, dude?" He's like, "I needed to wipe myself." And I'm like, "What? Like, did you take a shit in there?" And he goes,
child.
he just looks at me and he goes, "We need to go outside. I'm only telling this one time. Get Mike." So he goes, "Get Mike. I'm only telling this one time." So we grab Mike, and then he goes, I walked up the street to take a shit. They didn't have a bathroom I could use. So I like hightailed it back here, and I didn't make it. And we're like, "No." And he's like, "I didn't make it." We're like, "Did you shit yourself?" He's like, "No."
Honestly, it probably would have been better if you kept it inside. Like if you just pooped in your pants. You probably would have.
That would have been
You probably would have
so-
felt less shame.
Dude, that would have been so uncomfortable, though.
I probably only had like 6 pairs of underwear. You know what I mean? I was like,
To be fair, though, we were on the way home. Like, we went home that night.
was that the last?
That was the last night of tour.
Oh man.
So you could have done that, but like in the moment, I could understand being like full panic.
Yeah.
It was a full panic. It is like that's probably my lowest tour moment too. Like, and
Yeah.
I felt like that you guys earned it for your podcast.
Did you?
I will be honest. I did not bring that up or like tell it when we were discussing this. I was like, I if it were me, I don't know if I'd be putting it up there. Just because like it shows humility and like it is definitely one of those very embarrassing stories, but it's funny to laugh at too. And you have to laugh at it.
Some woman. This is gonna. Some woman's just gonna see this and be like, "Wait a minute."
That's what I'm saying too. Like, oh man,
I thought there was a bear.
I'm like, holy fuck, that was a huge dog. I mean, and the owner didn't even clean it up. What a piece of shit.
Why does it smell oddly like McDonald's? What's going on here?
Oh
Are
my
those
God.
pork rinds?
Yeah, dude. Like, I fucking.
Did a receipt fall out of his pocket, or was it in the shit the whole time?
So yeah, that was.
That's rough.
I know, dude. It was fucking.
But you know what? We got the story out of it, and when we'll give you some royalties.
We'll buy you some, underwear or something.
Honestly, like,
Have you ever misread it in the pants?
Have I ever sharted in my life?
Who hasn't?
Or like
on
you
tour.
you were very close to shitting your pants that day.
Yeah, I was.
Have you ever risked it all and it didn't work out? Because
Haven't we all? I don't know, yeah.
No.
Oh, you haven't? Oh shit.
I
I mean,
mis-
no,
I
dude,
don't
never,
believe
dude.
that at
Fuck
all.
You
I've
also.
mistrusted farts, but I've never full on.
Oh yeah, no, neither
Full
have I.
bore.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I've
No,
never
have you ever
full bore.
You never full on just let it go.
No.
Okay, that's
I've never
fine. That's
full
fine.
on.
was like, yeah,
thought
we-
I was just gonna fart and then completely crapped my ass. I've never done that.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah,
But I'm not against trying
No,
it,
I've
dude.
not shat my pants aggressively. because I do this thing where I go twice a day.
That must be nice, dude.
At work? Do you go at work? No, you're busy tasting cheese.
I do not go at work.
That's absurd.
I never go at work unless it's like an absolute emergency. Then I will. But I
What about? Do you have any bathroom quarrels?
Dude, I'll tell you what. He can attest to this. So because when we would tour, like you don't know when the next time you're going to be able to use the restroom is.
Yeah. No, I get that.
And like for him, the next time he was going to be able to use it was when we got home. So that was like he was the only one who knew. He was the only one who knew.
He's like, so we're booking a hotel tomorrow, Holiday Inn. Let's go.
I just got to clench my cheeks for 36 more hours.
Backstage.
I hope I don't fucking shit my pants. Oh, God.
What's up, Houston? I'm not doing well. Turns out barbecue and not shitting for a week doesn't mix.
I should have drank 48 beers in the last 3 days.
That Taco Bell was not the right
Does
call.
anybody have any Imodium? But if you, the tour we did with Head North, a couple of people pissed in a jar.
Oh, we
or
did
like
that
a
all the time.
bottle.
Yeah, we would do that.
The problem with that though is we would buy the gallon jugs of like the Poland Springs because it had a bigger thing.
Mouth.
A bigger mouth, yeah. So
Okay,
we would,
big dicks.
yeah, no, just like no, definitely not for that. It was just less likely to spill. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, fair play.
Yeah.
You
So
get the whole thing in there. Make sure it's there.
You trying to pee on the top of one of those little baby watermelons? It's like, oh my God.
So when we would be on, like, we'd be driving and Mewsh and Mike would be like, "Oh, I gotta pee. Hand me the piss jar or the piss jug." Right?
It's hot.
And I'd be like, "I gotta pee. Hand me the piss jug." And then I'd be in the back seat. I'm pee shy.
Yeah,
it does not matter.
Oh, really?
Oh, I'm so pee shy.
No, I can. Yeah.
So like I would be sitting there and they'd be like talking to me. I'm like, "Stop talking to me. Eyes forward." And I'd be in the back seat and they'd be like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Dude, eyes forward. I have to pee so bad it hurts." And then they'd be like, "Okay." And then they'd be like silent and I'm like, "Talk, like distract me, do something."
Because they're just listening.
And then we would do shit like, we'd be like talking about something. We'd be like, "Yeah, did you see John's dick back there?"
That's a nice stream you got, guy.
Dude, it would take.
Cuts right off.
There would be times where it'd be like right there, and then be like, "Hey, John," I'm like, "Ah!" Like
I have to go.
I was right there, and then, but most of the time, like it would literally take me at least 10 minutes.
That's insane.
If I even got,
insane
even
that you
if
both
I
just
even
have
went.
these debilitating
And I
life
could piss
issues.
everywhere.
That's the thing. I can do either of those two actions in any situation.
That's the
Like,
difference.
I
Though I can take a dump anywhere. That's where I was going before. Is like I've
I'm
learned.
shitting in the piss jar.
I'm currently shitting.
I could have done that. I'm wearing a diaper. No.
That's why you're on that side.
Anytime we would stop for anything, I would try and squeeze one out. And
Of
they'd
course,
be like,
because you never know when
they'd
you're
be like,
gonna hit it.
John's in the bathroom again. I'd be like, listen, bitch. Listen, I'm driving, number one. Number two, I don't know when the next time we're going to
There's
stop.
a 14-hour drive ahead of us. Our headlights already don't work, and the AC doesn't work. I'm not sweating for that reason.
That sounds about right.
But that's the thing. Like, I broke my governor on that at a very young age because I was at Extreme Wheels once, and my friend, we'll leave his name out because it's a bit of a rough one. We went to the because you've been to Extreme Wheels, there's no barriers between the urinals; they're just right on top of each other. Yeah. He goes, "Max, let's just look into each other's eyes while we piss," and I was like, right. And then from that day on, I've been able to do anything.
And now since then, I'm invincible.
Yeah, jeez, that's ridiculous. I could never do that.
Yeah,
it's once you break the governor, you're fine. You're good. You can literally do anything.
It's not even like
you can get on stage in front of 0 people and talk about stuff.
Oh man, I've been on stage in front of 0 people singing about stuff hundreds of times.
So how long was the traditional around? How long were you guys touring together as the traditional?
It was like 7 or 8 years.
Yeah,
like 8 years ish.
2012 when we started. So probably started touring in 2013.
We played our last show in 2019. 2019, yeah.
2019. Yeah.
We did kind of go on hiatus for a little bit just because life sucks.
Yeah.
And
when Charlie popped in, Charlie popped out.
Well, no, that had nothing to do with why we stopped, but it was just life sucks. That's
Yeah.
all. I don't really want to get into it, but
in that 7 year of the touring, was there any like cool things that happened? Do you guys have any cool memories?
I have like
Because obviously there's terrible memories, like Mewsh not being able to shit in public places.
okay.
But
where was your favorite place to play? Like,
Oh man, probably playing at Philip and Aaron's house in Tennessee.
okay, yeah. So that's like basically that's mine too. There's a little backstory. First time we ever played Nashville, it was most of our tours, if not all of them, except for maybe the Save Face tour, was all DIY. So it was Mewsh hitting up like a website that had anybody.
Sending out emails and emails.
And mostly
Just to
getting
avoid.
mostly being like, no, absolutely not.
right.
And then somebody like an angel would be like, hey, I'll throw a house party. Come play my house. So we get to Nashville, we get to this house. Not the greatest area, but whatever. We've been in worse. We get there, we hang out the whole day. Super cool people, super cool bands playing.
Yeah.
We get up to play, and there's these people that come up and they stand in front of us, and there's like 6 or 7 of them, and they know every lyric.
Yeah, it was
It's
gnarly.
our parents.
Mom?
My mom flew in from Buffalo.
So we actually, they like shot the shit with us afterwards. We
Yeah.
got super close with them. Like anytime we'd hit Nashville, they were there.
Wow.
So then what he's talking about is like one of the times the one dude, Phil, was like, hey, I'm going to throw a house party. I want you to come play. So we showed up to this guy's house. Great people. They're like family. They're such good people. Every one of them.
The
Like
absolute best.
not like honestly, some of the best people we met on that, like from touring,
Yeah.
So we show up to this house and his wife comes out and she's like, hey, yeah, we're almost done. And we're like, what are you talking about? She's like, well, that part of the house is an addition and we've been putting it off. And when you guys said you would play the show, Philip has been up for 2 days straight putting in the flooring and finishing for you guys.
Wow.
Like straight up said, we finished
If you
for
build
you.
it, they will come. Except they're coming. We have to build it.
Yeah, right.
So
That's
you can
sick.
take over.
So yeah, like we Philip hit us up and was just like, hey, like come play my house. And so we did, and it was dope. Dalton, who's a buddy of ours from that from that friend group or whatever, he heard us on Absolute Punk, I think it was.
Yeah.
And he saw them do a review of our EP or something. Or I think it was Absolute Punk. I don't remember. But so he was like hooked, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And so, the next time we came through, they just had this fucking rager, dude. Like it was like a huge party.
Like probably 100 people. Like not exaggerating.
Yeah,
In a
like
house.
pretty close to
in a
100
house.
people.
And,
Yeah.
like,
Wow.
outside- and they have like a big, beautiful house already. Like,
Is this like in the city of Nashville?
No.
Like in the sticks?
no, it's in the
in
in
the burbs.
southern middle Tennessee. It's
Yeah.
not even Nashville. It's like
Oh, wow.
It's yeah.
It was like 50 miles outside of Nashville, maybe.
Right, so
I
you're-
want to say
and
something
so-
like that.
You're
So the
just
first
somewhere in
time-
Tennessee.
So the first time they came and saw us, they had to drive all that way
Yeah.
into Nashville.
They
just
drove
to
like
come
an hour
see
and a
us
half to see us.
Wow.
in a living room. We played in somebody's living room.
Right.
So that was really cool. And then, then after that, like, we love those guys. They are, they're awesome. And they would and they would put us up for the day and they would feed us.
We would-
oh man. It was-
Mewsh could
We
use the
would-
bathroom.
oh,
we
yeah.
would-
Oh yeah. Beautiful bathroom. Beautiful bathroom in that house.
We would press merch for them.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they would
That's
they wouldn't
sick.
let us leave with it. They would be like, "Oh, you made this for us? Give me everything you have."
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think it's Phil's mom, I think, works at
Jack Daniels.
the Jack Daniels distillery.
No way.
And she brought us like Jack Daniels merch and shit. And then he had this like super rare bottle of Jack
Yeah.
that he like cracked open and we like all did a shot of it. It was like super good and super smooth. But like we printed like Jack Daniels label rip-off shirts.
Oh,
that said,
that's
like
fun.
the
That's
traditional,
cool.
like doing,
And I
like,
think it
at
even
their
had their
house.
names on it,
Yeah,
didn't it?
like
At
playing
Phil's
at their-
house or something like that.
Right.
So, Yeah, that was awesome. That was like, and those are the parts of tour that like make it worth it because it fucking sucks. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
so those are the parts of touring that are like I'll always remember them. You know what I mean? And I'll always remember like those shows and how fun it was.
We announced our last show because we were just gonna after our hiatus we were like, listen, we need to do this right. We need to go out with a bang. Like we need to give the people what they deserve because we've had a lot of support from Buffalo and other states
from everywhere. Yeah,
and I mean Dalton and his cousin
Dalton
came
Corey
up.
Came down.
They were here.
Way.
Yeah.
So
they came and hung out and
That's so cool.
yeah.
and
That was
like
really cool.
what's even cooler is like we met them. We played that house show and then they had us come back 2 other times.
Yeah.
And we weren't even on tour. They were like, "Hey, we want to do another show. When does it work for you in this time frame?"
Yeah.
And then they would just pay us to come down. When we left, they'd make sure we were taken care of and we'd go home.
Yeah.
It was
Wow.
awesome.
So just
It
like
was-
one-offs and stuff.
Yeah,
we
and
would do one-offs once in a while.
we
just to
left
go
on
hang
a
out with
Friday,
them.
played
crazy.
Saturday, came home Sunday.
Yeah.
And we didn't mind the drive because it was so
'Cause it was worth
fun.
it.
We knew what we were going for, and then we just had so much fun. And the drive home sucked because we were all so hungover. So hungover. But it was those are the memories that I have like the fondest memories of.
Yeah.
That feels like one of those gigs that you would even do if you didn't get paid.
Dude, for sure. We would have went down there if they didn't offer us anything.
I'll tell you what,
Play
I
those shows.
It's
I
such a
bet
good
you
bathroom.
if they were to hit us
That
up,
was fucking insane, dude. You don't understand.
they had a pool, they had a bathroom, they had 2 bathrooms,
They had a
Multiple
bidet.
bathrooms.
They used 3-ply.
They even like they borrowed an RV or like a camper from somebody, and that was our room. Nobody was allowed in there.
we
That was our
You had
room.
like- you had like a.
Awesome.
It was amazing.
You had a trailer.
Yeah.
You had your own
Legit.
We had
trailer.
our own full-on trailer.
Yeah.
It's so tight.
And
was
actually, one of my favorite memories of Anthony on that tour, or on like playing one of those shows, is they made us breakfast
Yeah.
or dinner, and dude, gravy and biscuits, sausage, gravy and
It's good
biscuits.
Southern.
Yeah.
So like homemade,
Oh,
so
buddy.
good. We get hammered. After we play. We played
course.
every song we wrote because for them.
We played songs we didn't write. We just played notes.
We played songs that we had to relearn.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
played
Yeah,
songs
we
we had
did.
to learn
Yeah.
because
songs
we
that we
hadn't
never
played
had
them in
played.
years.
Right, because it's.
But we we played. They're like, all right, you guys played. That was awesome. Let's party.
Let's
Right?
go.
So we party with them. We're hammered. I walk into the kitchen, and Mewsh is sitting there with a ladle and just scooping the sausage gravy and into his mouth. So funny.
That's the move.
And you'd be like, yo, let me get some of that. And he's like, no.
This ain't for you.
No.
This ain't for you.
This is the move of a man who knows he's got a bathroom to go to. He knows he's not going to need to worry about it
fucking
tomorrow.
safe, dude. I'm
He's
safe.
like,
He's
he's
going-
good.
You're going, oh, dude, let me get some of that. And he's going, no, you're going to hate it. It sucks.
It's terrible. I'm getting rid of it so no one else takes it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't want
Oh
any of this,
my
man.
God.
You're gonna hate it.
Do you keep in touch with any of them, or like are you aware of what they're doing, or
Basically on Twitter. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
we talk football a lot with them too.
Yeah.
that's like I don't know. I obviously don't know those people, but like it reminds me a lot of like the Paganos.
Love me, Paganos.
Is that I don't
Yeah.
know how to say. I might be butchering
Shout out
the name.
Paganos.
I've only because I've never met them, but I've seen on the internet that they like support all the touring people that go through small bands, big bands that jump on rocks.
Quick story. First out of town date we played was Pagano's New Year's Eve show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was with Penamento. I Was a Hero.
Doses?
Doses. What was the girl band?
Modern Baseball played that show.
Modern Baseball played that show before
Lobo.
they
Before they were like,
Whoa.
they were nothing
they
at
were
that
like-
time.
Yeah.
they were. Like,
They just started as a band at that time.
That's tight.
That lineup was crazy too. I'll find the flyer and I'll post
And
it.
it's just like in the Pagano's basement. Or
Yeah.
their house.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
That's so
just in
crazy.
the basement of their house, an ass load of kids in there, and it was like
Wow.
it was a lot of fun. And they, they let us crash, and we were heading like Maine the next day. And
Not just like
Just a casual
They let
Poughkeepsie
us-
to Maine drive.
right, exactly.
they really took care of us. They let us crash anytime.
Yeah.
If there were times that
Oh,
shows
man.
would get canceled and we'd have 3 days, they were like, "We're not home. This is how you get in. Help yourself to whatever
Keys in
you
the rock
need.
by the door.
Stay as long as you'd
Wow.
like. We'll see you when we get there."
Yeah.
It was they are the greatest people.
Sure. Well,
It's-
yeah, you went to the football game with the dad.
Yeah,
the
Vito.
other-
Yeah, Vito and Madison, and I mean they're all coming back this year.
Wow.
So maybe we can do a podcast with Vito.
Oh yeah, he's
That'd be
probably got a
awesome.
lot of
He would
good
love
fan
that.
stories.
Oh, I
They all-
guarantee
I bet
it.
they got so many.
I-
Dude,
Another good-
they have so many.
Another good Pagano story, which is like a another embarrassing story for me. is- so
I ruined their bathroom.
we
They
were,
just redid it, and I redid it again.
we had a show in. They were living somewhere in New York at the
Schenectady.
time. Schenectady, yeah.
It's right outside Albany.
Shout out Schenectady.
Shout out Schenectady,
Shout out
dude.
Schenectady
It's
train
it's
station.
very close to Albany.
Yeah.
We played Syracuse the night before at the Homeward House, which with like.
I've been there. I've been
been to
there.
Homeward House?
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that's where we played the night before, and then we got fucking annihilated.
Okay, real quick because I know he's not going to say it, and I will post this as well.
No one drove.
We stayed at our friends that lived in Syracuse's house, and our friend Alec made a bet with Anthony that he could not eat a full tray of
That's another story.
cornbread.
That's not the same story, but that's a good one.
No,
Hold on,
that was
yeah.
the same tour.
No, was it?
The hair, I remember.
It wasn't.
Oh, whatever. Anyways,
Well, do
I'll
the-
just finish
yeah,
the story
do-
real quick.
Finish that story.
So Anthony was like, "Oh, dude, no way! I'm not gonna finish this."
can
He's like,
easily
I'll pay for it."
Was it? Oh, wait. You've mentioned this before. Where was the cornbread from?
Alto Cinco, right?
Right.
Cinco, yeah.
Right. So it's Alto Cinco.
I told you this the other day.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, Alto Cinco is a fantastic Mexican restaurant on Westcott Street in Syracuse. That's jalapeno cornbread.
It
Yes.
sure
That's
is,
not
brother.
normal people cornbread.
And when they say when we say a tray, like
No,
Alec
yeah,
was
I
like,
remember
shout out
that.
Alec. Alec was like, I'll pay for the tray if you do this, and then I'll give you. It was like $20 or
I
something.
bet, like,
'Cause the thing
I bet
is the-
multiple people $20.
Yeah.
The
that
thing
could
I
do
remember
it.
going because I remember you can get a burrito and cornbread, and like that's all you need in the world is a wet burrito and cornbread. But the
Yeah.
cornbread, I remember the slices are like
They're thick as shit.
sizable.
Yeah, so they-
They're like-
they- the
they're
sheet-
corn cake.
They're super
the
thick.
sheet is this by this.
Right, it's
So
like a
it
5x2.
It is 2 feet by whatever. And yeah, he tried to eat the whole thing. Make a long story short, he did not make it. He was dipping
I
it in
had
course
beer.
he
like
did.
two
Of course he
pieces
did.
left. I had 2 pieces left of this whole tray. Okay,
You're
It's a-
doing good.
I had 2 pieces left. I was like so close, but I was tapping out. You know, what I mean?
I
So I'm
needed
like,
to go.
I seen these guys who do eating contests and they dip it in water. I'll just dip it and it'll go right down, no problem. So I
Yeah.
dip it in beer. I take a bite and I run to the bathroom and I puked so hard I broke all the blood vessels in my face and it came out like a log.
So you know how they sell the
Came out like one hard, like
You-
my
You
sock.
could put it back in the
you know how they sell the
Fucking
cookie
mold
dough,
never sold it.
the pre-made cookie dough in like the plastic
Yeah.
in that roll. That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Because you showed me that photo of him after, and the thing is,
of your bloodshot
Oh
eyes.
yeah,
The thing-
I
he
was
showed me the
fucking
photo.
Shot.
well, if he didn't show me that photo, you just look like a down on your luck crack addict.
I was down on my luck. I did
Like,
lose
you
a couple
had bleach
bucks.
blonde hair, your eyes were all busted out, and I was
my
like,
God.
he just looks like he's having a tough day.
I was having a tough day.
All right, I know you got to get out of here, so I'll let you finish your story with the Paganos real quick, and
was
then
a
we'll
short
end
one.
it.
So yeah, then we went to we had a show in Schenectady, and we had played Syracuse the night before at the Homeward House, and we got absolutely trashed. And I got alcohol poisoning. There's absolutely no way around it. Like I was so
unwell.
sick for the next like 3 or 4 days. So we go to the Pagano's house, and like the first time we went there, we had so much fun, and I was like so excited to hang out with them again. I walked in the house. I walked in the basement. I passed out on Brandon's bed, and he was on tour at the time, and I slept the whole day. Then we got up, and I got up. We went to play the show. I sat in the van the entire time, like thinking I was going to die. I play the set. Nobody knew shit. I fucking killed it. Then I walk outside after we're done playing, and I throw up all over the side of the building that we were playing in, and went back in the van and slept until the next day. It was a nightmare.
Yeah, it was
Tour, man, tour. It's
Just
all about,
tour
baby.
stuff,
Just
man.
fucking sucking suds and
and putting them back in the world.
not a lot of stories that I'm proud of from tour.
Yeah, we'll have to have you on again because this
we
this
have
is
so
bringing
much
up a
more we
lot
could
more
talk
too. You know,
about.
we couldn't think of a whole lot before, and then as we're going, more's coming up. So, yeah, thanks for coming and hanging out.
Thank
And
you for having me.
it was-
I
Do you have,
was
any,
fun.
appreciate it,
do you have
guys.
anything you need to plug? You want to plug? I know there's something
Oh
that you
shit!
guys
New
want to plug.
Genesee Hotel record coming out on June 9th.
Where can they find that?
Everywhere. Everywhere you stream music, probably wherever you're streaming this. Bang our new fire ass EP Hair.
Absolutely.
you
All
have
right.
anything
Well,
else? Nope.
I got nothing. I'm not gonna ever.
got nothing.
I'm never going to do social media stuff for me. So you can do your thing.
Well, you can find all. John is nothing. You can find all my dates at maxkazor.com, KACZOR, C as in cat, Z as in zebra.com. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. This has been Story Time.
It's John, Max, and Noosh being real cool dudes and talking about the things they saw